Forming an LLC in California sounds simple until you realize how many ways there are to mess it up. A missed detail here or a wrong form there, and suddenly you're rejected and you got to start all over. Well, in this video, I'll guide you step by step so that you don't waste time or money. You'll learn the exact process to get your LLC approved and stay compliant. And there's also one small mistake that trips up more people than anything else, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Now, before we jump in too deep, here's one thing to keep in mind. Starting your business, it should be exciting, not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own can get confusing fast with all the legal forms and rules and easy to miss details. Now, I'll walk you through everything in this video here, but if any part of this feels confusing, I've actually got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way, just click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. So first off, picking your LLC name is more than just a creative moment, right? It's your first legal step. Now in California, your name has to include limited liability company, LLC, or L.C. And you can't use words like bank or insurance unless you're actually in those industries and get approval. The state also wants to make sure that your name isn't so close to another business that people can get confused. So you'll need to take a minute to check if it's unique using the Secretary of State's online search tool. If your top choice is taken, try adding your city or a unique word to stand out. So for example, if Sunshine Suites LLC is taken, Sunshine Suites of Fresno LLC could work. And once you find a name that you love and it's available, you can call dibs on it by reserving it for 60 days. Just file a name reservation request online or by mail and pay the $10 fee. And this keeps your name safe while you finish setting up your business. So nailing your name down is definitely a good first step, but here's something that most people don't realize. Who manages your LLC paperwork can actually make a big difference in how your business actually runs. Here's a step that's easy to overlook, but can actually save you a ton of headaches. Every California LLC needs a registered agent. This is the person or company who's officially in charge of receiving legal documents and state notices for your business. You could be your own registered agent if you have a California address and are available during business hours, but most people, they don't want their home address on public record or risk missing something important if they're not available. That's why I always recommend using a professional service instead. Now, if you want the best mix of privacy, reliability, and customer support, I recommend that you go with Northwest Registered Agent. They'll keep your personal address off public records, give you a dedicated team for support, and notify you right away if anything urgent comes in. Now, Northwest, they only charge $39 plus your state fees to form your LLC. So it's super affordable. And you can click right up here to check them out or check them out in the description below. But once you've got your registered agent lined up, you'll need to decide how your LLC is going to be managed. And trust me, this next choice, it can make a big difference in how your business operates day to day. So who's actually running your LLC? This decision shapes how your business works every single day, but it's way easier than most people think. So you basically got two choices. You've got member managed or manager managed. If you want everyone who owns a piece of the business to help with decisions and daily tasks, then you want to go with member managed. It's perfect for, small teams where everyone likes being hands-on. But maybe you'd rather just have one person, maybe you, maybe someone else, handle all the day-to-day, while the other owners just take a back seat. Well, that's manager managed. And it's great if you have investors or partners who want to stay out of the weeds. And California has a lot of investors. Choosing the right structure now will keep things smooth later. And trust me, making it official is way simpler than you'd expect. So how do you actually bring your LLC to life in California? Well, let's dive into that here next. So this is the moment that your business becomes official in California, right? To create your LLC, you'll need to file Form LLC-1, also called the Articles of Organization, with the California Secretary of State. Now the form is straightforward, right? You'll enter your LLC's name, business address, registered agent details, and whether your LLC is member managed or manager managed. There's also a spot for your business purpose. And most people, they just use kind of like a generic thing. So to engage in any lawful activity, right? Which is totally fine. And you can file online, by mail, or in person, but online is by far the fastest and easiest way. The filing fee is $70, and this is a one-time charge to officially register your LLC with the state. And once your filing is approved, you'll get a stamped copy back as proof that your LLC exists. This is what you'll need to open a business bank account or sign contracts, so keep it around. And remember, this $70 fee is separate from the $800 annual franchise tax, which kicks in after your LLC is formed. Now, if you skip this step or make a mistake, your LLC, it will not be recognized and you won't be able to do business legally in California. So you got to get it done. But once you've filed your articles of organization, you're officially in business. But there's one more document that you absolutely need to keep your LLC running smoothly and protect yourself in the long run. So let's talk about what they call the operating agreement and why that matters. Think of your operating agreement as your LLC's playbook, right? And it's required in California, but it's also your best tool for avoiding drama and protecting your business. Now, you don't file it with the state, but you do need to keep it with your records. So here's what it covers. So who owns what, how profits and losses are split, who gets to make decisions, and what happens if someone wants out. Now, a solid agreement spells out everyone's roles and keeps your LLC running smoothly, so you're not stuck with California's default rules if there's ever a disagreement. The key things to include here, you want to have your LLC's name and address, all members and their ownership percentages, how you'll split your profits and losses, voting rights and management structure, rules for adding or removing members, and what happens if you dissolve the LLC. Now, banks often want to see your operating agreement before letting you open a business bank account as well. So having this document ready isn't just smart, right? It's really practical. And once you've got this in place, you're set up for fewer surprises down the road, which is huge with a business. But if you want to hire employees or open that business bank account, there's also one more thing that you'll need, which is an EIN. And getting one is actually way easier than you may think. Ever wonder how you actually open a business bank account or pay your taxes for your LLC? Well, here's the answer. You need an EIN, which is an employer identification number. It's kind of like a social security number, but for your business. Now, the good news is that getting an EIN is totally free, and it only takes a few minutes if you do it online through the IRS. That said, don't get tricked by sites that charge you. Just use the official IRS website. And after answering a few questions about your LLC, you'll get your EIN instantly if you apply online. Now, you can't hire employees, pay certain taxes, or open a business bank account without this number. So don't skip it. It's a must-have for every LLC out there, whether you're in California or not. And once you've got your EIN, you're ready for the next step. But here's something a lot of new business owners miss. California also requires you to file a statement of information soon after forming your LLC. And skipping it can cause big headaches. So let's break down what you need to know here next. First, what is the statement of information? Well, it's California's way of keeping tabs on your business basics. So your LLC's address, who's in charge, your registered agent, and what your business actually does. Now, this info is public record and helps keep everything transparent for the state and anyone that you do business with. But here's the timing that you really need to know, right? So your first statement of information is due within 90 days of your LLC being approved by the state. After that, you file it every 2 years based on your LLC's anniversary month. Now, if you miss the deadline, there's a $250 late fee. And if you keep ignoring it, the state can actually suspend your LLC, which is not fun. But filing is easy. So just go online to the California Secretary of State's BizFile portal, look up your LLC, fill in the required info, and pay the $20 filing fee. You'll need to list your business address, not a PO box, your managers or members, and your registered agent. If anything changes, like you move or switched your agents, you're required to update your statement of information within 60 days as well. Staying on top of this, it keeps your LLC in good standing and avoids unnecessary penalties. Plus, like I said, banks and licensing agencies, they often check this filing before letting you open accounts or get permits as well. Now, as much paperwork as this is, we're not done yet. From here, you'll have to look into business licenses and permits as well. So let's get into that. Most people assume that there's, a one-size-fits-all California business license. But that's not how it works. California does not require a general state-level business license for all LLCs. Instead, what you need depends on your location and what your business actually does. Almost every city or county in California requires a local business license, sometimes called a business tax certificate, even if you're running your business from home. So your first move should be to check with your city or county clerk's office to find out what's required in your area. If your business sells products or tangible goods, you'll also need a California seller's permit so you can collect and pay sales tax. Now, this permit is free, believe it or not, and you can apply online through the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration. You'll need to post this permit at your business location once you get it as well. Some industries like food service, childcare, or anything health related require extra state or local permits and inspections. Now, if you're not sure what applies to you, just use the Cal Gold online tool to search for the exact licenses that your business needs, or reach out to the California office of the Small Business Advocate for help. But here's the bottom line. Getting the right licenses keeps you legal and avoids fines and shutdowns. This process, it can be overwhelming, but most applications are online and straightforward once you really know where to look. So now you've mostly gotten all the main stuff out of the way, but you do want to make sure that you keep your business in good standing with the state. So let's get into the ongoing compliance that you'll need to pay attention to. So the first rule, and this is a big one, every California LLC, they owe an $800 franchise tax each year, even if you don't make a dime. Your first payment is due by the 15th day of the 4th month after you form your LLC, and then it's due every year after that. You'll also need to file a statement of information every 2 years, which I already mentioned, with a $20 fee to keep your LLC active. And if you miss this, you will get hit with that $250 late fee. So don't miss it. Now, if you have employees, you'll need to also handle payroll taxes and workers' comp. And if your LLC is taxed as a partnership or corporation, there are extra state and federal forms to file as well. Now, even though this is admittedly a lot to navigate, staying on top of these deadlines, it keeps your business legit and avoids expensive surprises. So set reminders for your tax and filing dates, or just use a pro to help if you want to keep things stress-free. Now, again, to help you with this, I advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agents, which again, you can click right up here to check out, as they will really help you stay in compliance year after year while you try to run a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me, or you're a little confused about something in the process, just drop me a comment below. I will do my absolute best to help you out and respond as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.